Hey everyone, good afternoon and welcome to the Plant-Based Morning Show, a rare afternoon edition. We knew this was coming. I had to take my son for some testing today, state test, which made it so we couldn't do the normal time. But here we are, we're doing the show nonetheless, and should be a good one. Should be fun. Always weird when we in the afternoon get a different crowd, and that's fine. Not a bad thing to have that happen. All right, I'm adding Doug in here to the Instagram. He's been having a little bit of internet trouble today, but hopefully he's fixed. And hopefully we'll have a good, normal show. All right, Doug is being added, and he's here. What's up, Doug? How's it going?
Hey, Matt. How's it going? Happy afternoon. Happy plant-based afternoon show brought to you by Compliment, the best vegan supplements ever, period. Vegan.
Well, that's you only need to say vegan if you didn't put it in the first one.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, double vegan.
Yeah. You get a haircut there, Doug? Is that what I'm seeing?
I did get a haircut. How do you think I look? Do I look good?
Looks
pretty
fresh.
good.
Yeah, looks a little long on the sides. They left it long, huh? You said you didn't want to get too.
No, got to go high and tight up on the edge, and then let it flow
the hard
over
part.
the top of my head. It was needed, man. They get some. I'm pretty. I'm not the kind of guy who has to get a haircut every 3 or 4 weeks or anything like that. But there reaches a point around 7 weeks when I just don't like it anymore, and it gets frustrating. And I'm really bad about booking haircuts ahead of time, so then I always have to wait another week or two, and until I can get a spot or get an appointment, and by then it's just driving me crazy. So
yeah, I strongly dislike haircuts. That's become something I don't know. Not like I'm that busy, but I just hate sitting there for whatever time it takes and driving to it and all that. So I'm more likely I just do it at home these days. I don't really care that much how it looks. As much as I care about not sitting in that chair. So that's that. It's weird doing this in the afternoon. I don't know how to jump into the show. I'm trying to think. I don't even remember what dinner was last night. It's been so long. I know what it was. It was leftover from birthday day. We made the Spanish stew for my daughter. She wanted it in her birthday meal, and it's like homemade vegan chorizo. Takes some work, but not that much. It's always worth it. I'm always glad I do it. Make some extras. We have it the whole week. Out of wheat gluten and paprikas and all different things. Cinnamon, nutmeg, lots of good stuff goes in it. So anyway, we made this thing for her, and then by the time it was served to her, she was totally full from all the other food we had all day. She didn't eat any of it. She had 2 bites. So we had a large amount left over for have it again last night. So we did that. So that's what I had for dinner last night. That's it. Nothing too else wild going on. How about you? Anything else going on? You're back to your non-drinking, right?
Back to non-drinking, and I was actually kind of proud of myself last night. I really wanted a glass of wine, and I didn't have one. And as soon as I decided not to have one, 10 minutes later I'd forgotten about it, and it wasn't a big deal. It's kind of just that decision, right?
Yep.
That's the challenging part. And then once you've decided, it's oh yeah, no big deal. So I had sushi last night. Takeout sushi.
Okay.
Very good.
Good. Very nice. I'm a fan of sushi, except that it's just I get tired of it. I don't know if your place has variety. We have for me. It's always the same thing. It's avocado, cucumber, whatever, carrot, I guess, roll, and no other options. So it used to be where I used to live. You could get tempura, banana, sweet potato, fried kind of stuff. Yep, good things, but not anymore. So
we have about 4 options we can get at our spot.
Okay, that's good. Not bad.
Yeah, they're good.
Good.
Worth it. And the kids will just chow down. They'll eat a roll and a half each.
Yeah.
Which gets expensive.
I was just thinking the same thing. It is expensive to get sushi for the kids.
But man, they like it, and it's healthy and clean and full of seaweed, and I don't know. So I'm happy for them to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, when we go to order it, each one is I'll have these 3 rolls, this and this and this. And you're not getting 3 rolls each. They're $9 each or something. You're not doing that. It's not how you eat sushi. You get 1 roll and then some edamame or something. But yeah, I know the feeling of that one.
Yeah.
All right, we got some people here today, which is good. Little different crowd, I think, because there are fewer people here than usual, but that's okay. Mr. Jeffrey's here as always. Good morning for him. It's still his morning because he's West Coast Canada guy. Phyllis Hauser says, "Nice haircut, Doug." I don't know recognize Phyllis's name, but she knows you had a haircut. So
yeah, Phyllis came and contributed in the No Meat Athlete episode we did.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Last week. So yeah.
Okay, good. Lori Stevens is here. Sarah Slemp, Dale Stevens. Is Lori Stevens and Dale Stevens related? possibly? Couldn't be. I've never realized that two people have the same last name. I'm sure they're not. Anyway, speaking of No Meat Athlete Radio, Doug, I told you this. I've been reading Dr. Valter Longo's book, The Longevity Diet, which I read a long time ago, but kind of re-sparked my interest, reading the Peter Attia book. And I since discovered that Longo has another book. It's called like At the Table with Longevity or something. Not a very good name, but he like goes to all the different regions of Italy and finds their longevity spots and the dishes that they've eaten for hundreds of years there. And so anyway, that was an insta buy for me. But well, I'm not going to get into this.
Yeah, that's like combo of Blue Zones, but just focused on Italy. It's like your favorite, everything combined.
Exactly, and even better. I wasn't going to get into this part, but now I am. I got the Italian. There's an Italian version, so I went ahead and got that one so that I can also be practicing Italian in the same breath, basically. But unfortunately, that doesn't come in hardcover. Only in physical copy. That's only Kindle. But it's the original, so I figured it might be good. Anyway, so I'm quite excited about that one. But as I was saying, he has some not totally opposite views, but different views from Attia, and they're definitely easier to follow. I realize I like the Blue Zone stuff because it's easy. It sounds exciting, right? It sounds like, oh, just drink this wine all the time and you'll live to be 100, and do some light gardening and incorporate exercise into your life. So that I don't know. That seems like a nice, easy, appealing thing. So Longo stuff is similarly just sounds a little bit easier to do than Attia's. Not trying to get 3 times the government protein recommendation. Instead, he says like most people get way too much protein. Lots of evidence shows that you shouldn't get that much. And then he talks about Attia's fitness advice and basically says, yes, this much is good. I mean, he basically agrees. Doesn't mention Attia, but says like, here's how much you kind of ideally would do of these different things. And it ends up being very similar to what Attia recommended, which is quite the workload for a normal person. But then he says, after you do something like 60, 70% of that much, the returns on that extra time go to very, very low zero. So like for most people, it's just not worth that extra effort because there's not that much extra that you get out of doing more than that.
Well, that's kind of what we were saying, right? That's what we were hoping for, is that you could do 80% of the work or 50% of the work, and
right.
And then it's diminishing returns after that, and still get most of the benefits. So, is he recommending the same like breakdown of zone 2 and VO2 max and all that?
He doesn't get so technical. He more talks about light to moderate exercise and then vigorous exercise and then weight training. So I sort of am making the analogy here and assuming they're kind of the same. And he gives some examples of what they are, and they really do kind of fit the same thing. So it's much less specific, more like go walk fast for 3 hours or 4 hours a week or something like that. Or maybe it's an hour a day. So try to go do some fast walking. But then he says like, that's the upper limit. You could do, half that much and you still get a lot of those results. So yeah, it's pretty much, I don't know, this is the kind of longevity stuff I like reading when it sounds like something I can actually do. So I think we're going to do a whole episode about this different approach to longevity, especially from the fitness perspective, but also some diet stuff. So we'll be doing that hopefully later this week, maybe even tomorrow we may get that done.
Yeah, we're gonna tomorrow afternoon maybe.
Yeah, so look for that. If you're around in this afternoon slot, that might be a good one for you to attend live, like Phyllis Hauser. Maybe no coincidence that Phyllis is here in this afternoon show, just like she was at No Meat Athlete Radio. There we go, mystery solved. That was the point of all that talk, was to solve that mystery about Phyllis Hauser and why she was here again. Sorry, Doug. Okay, so with that, I guess, should we get to our weather report, Doug? Anything else that we should talk about before preamble?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. Let's jump into. We have a big weather report, so let's do it.
Yeah, I did cut one thing at the last minute. I cut efficient protein. I love their name. Whether they're making cultivated fish protein. cut that. Just wasn't newsworthy, so it's not there. By the way, we're going to stop calling this the weather report. Someone suggested plant bites, which is kind of a funny name, like BUY, I guess, kind of like sound bites. Perfect name, except for the product plant bites that we used to have, and now we don't anymore. But we got to think of something.
No one on YouTube knows that. I mean, we could still do that.
No, they don't. Right? It's a great name. So I think we might do that. Weather report just doesn't make sense. We started calling it that, but like this isn't the weather. It's the news. So we'll transition away from that soon. But here we go. Tuesday, May 9th. What's going on in the plant-based world? Number one, our favorite fast food restaurant of all. I guess I'll go ahead and play their little theme song here.
There you go. Now we're rocking.
Yeah. Burger King. They keep doing it for plant-based people. It's just, I mean, head and shoulders above all the others as far as the effort they are making when it comes to big mainstream fast food restaurants. Once again, they've got a plant-forward pop-up. This time plant-forward, not totally plant-based. It's in Barcelona, great city, one of the favorite places I've been for sure. They're doing it for the month of May for the Westfield Good Festival, which is an event organized to celebrate Earth Month. I'm a little confused here. I thought Earth Month was last month when Earth Day is. Am I wrong about that, Doug? You're the
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot here. I don't know. I didn't even know there was an Earth Month, to be honest.
Yeah, we kept talking about it during April, and I thought that was it, Earth Month.
If you Google Earth Month, April comes up. So maybe they're just a little confused.
They're just late. I don't know. Wouldn't be the first time a Spanish person was late for something. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so here's what they're doing. It's nothing new. It's just for temporary. It's a month. All the stuff you can get in vegan. And I don't know if it's all of it, and I shouldn't say vegan. So ignore the sentence I just spoke. Not true.
So not all of it, and not necessarily vegan, but they have food, right? They have food.
Right. All right. So you can get plant-based versions of the new cheesy Doritos. I don't know what that is. I didn't know Burger King had a Doritos partnership. Did you, Doug?
No, I did not know that.
Okay. Also the cheeseburger barbecue, the chicken wrap, as well as the King Huevo, cheese bacon XXL, and steakhouse, along with classics Whopper, veggie, and double and triple versions. I mean, I don't know that classic. Long veggie, I don't know that. I know long chicken. That might be the same thing.
Yeah,
Big King veggie XXL version, yeah. And veggie nuggets. These are weird names of foods. I don't know any of these. I think this is just what European Burger Kings do, or at least Spanish Burger King does. I have no idea.
Yeah.
The catch is they're going to keep having the meat protein versions of all of these, but the fact that they're going to have all plant-based versions, meaning not just plant-based meat, but they're going to have plant-based cheese, and I assume plant-based egg, right? Because the King Huevo sandwich, cheese bacon, they're going to have plant-based bacon. I mean, this is a big step for them to do all of this, and they've done it before, but it's just another example. Burger King is trying, and I appreciate that.
I think so too. I think you predicted, actually, I'm not going to take any credit for this, that the future of Burger King was not a fully vegan Burger King, but one where they had identical menus, the vegan version and the meat version. And you could just order, all the sandwiches, everything, right? Just choose which version you wanted. And that seems to kind of be what they're doing here. And I think that's, I'm here for it.
Yeah, we don't know if they're trying these pop-ups as a test. I mean, certainly it is they're gathering some data. I don't know if they're just trying to get some goodwill, but they keep doing these things. They don't usually last, and they're not intended to. But you got to imagine that they're thinking about this, because it just seems like a great opportunity to be the leader here. Are you pulling the pictures up, Doug? Did you get the picture of this one up on the link?
I did not, but I will.
Well, you don't have to. We're kind of done. I was going to ask you if you knew why the sign said, I think it says zero carne, 100% plants or something like that. And I was going to
zero carne.
I was going to quiz you and see what it says. It doesn't say carne though. It says carne, CARN. And I was going to see if you could solve.
Oh, I don't know if that's a Spanish, like a Spain Spanish thing. I don't know it.
Well, you're close. It's a Catalan word.
Catalan.
Which is what they speak in Catalonia, where Barcelona is. Sort of it's the preferred language. I don't know which one's they're both official, I think. I don't know which one is the officially first, but I don't know. I always like seeing Catalan signs. It makes me excited.
Wait, you said 100% plants. It's 100% sabor.
Okay, yeah. Well, I didn't remember.
Which is flavor.
Yeah, taste, flavor. Exactly. You're right. Good. So that's that. Wish I were in Barcelona going there.
Oh yeah.
All right,
Road
moving
trip.
on.
Okay.
Moving on. This is another Spanish thing here. This is from El Segundo, California, which I guess is the second in California. Beyond Steak, which I'm out on. I haven't had it, but I'm just out. They have now been certified by the American Heart Association's Heart Check Food Certification Program, meaning I think they get that check on there. And the press release says they join the ranks of a select number of products that meet the American Heart Association's exacting nutrition criteria to help people make informed choices. I don't mean the check, I mean that heart stamp thing. Last time I checked, though, I think Cheerios also has the American Heart Association thing. So I don't know how much stock to put in this. It just doesn't seem like, I don't know. Yeah, Honey Nut Cheerios, multigrain Cheerios, they seem to all get it. So
why does Cheerios have the heart thing?
I think
it's just like less
whole
sugar
grains.
or something?
I think it has to do with whole grains.
Okay.
But is that even whole grains? I thought it was just white flour. I mean, I guess I don't know.
I think they're whole grains. Or Cheerios
really?
whole grains.
That's news to me. And I would start eating Cheerios again if they were whole grain, if I really believed it, but I don't. There's no way.
Yeah, they're made with whole grains. All Cheerios cereal varieties are made with whole grains and do have at least 8 grams per serving.
Wow. So that's not the worst thing in the world. I haven't looked at the ingredient list. I'm sure it's pretty long and probably has a lot more stuff. But there you go. That's why whole grains, like we said yesterday, they're not good to leave them out of diets. I think people think grains are bad from marketing and keto and whatever else. They're associated with longer life and good heart health. So you shouldn't not eat whole grains. It's a big deal. Okay, so that's that. So now Beyond Steak has that too, further cheapening the value to me of the American Heart Association stamp. I just don't understand. I mean, how can that have that?
I don't know, but you said you haven't had it, and I have, and I like it. I think it's good. I haven't had it, and I've only gotten it twice, but I enjoyed it.
And that's what we're talking about here. Is how good it is.
Well, anything that they want to put on the cover or like the package to make me feel better about eating it, I'm okay with it. So
good. Okay. Well, I'm sure that's the purpose the heart is meant to serve, is to make people feel better about eating the food that that manages to obtain it. All right, moving on. More healthy food. James Beard award-winning chef Nancy Silverton says Veg News will soon have just the thing, which refers to a different part of the article that I didn't cut.
We're on fire this afternoon. This is great.
From New Culture Cheese, who's making fermented, precision fermentation, dairy identical vegan cheese. They're the mozzarella, like fresh mozzarella version of that will now be at her cheese. So Nancy Silverton, sort of a celebrity chef, apparently a pioneer of LA's Italian food scene. She's putting this on her pizzas there, and that's pretty exciting. I think it would be super cool to go to like a hip pizza spot and be able to get dairy identical mozzarella cheese. I did think, though, at first it sounded really exciting. And then I thought people who are like really into mozzarella cheese, they, argue all the time over who's the best one, where you get the best kind. So like, just because we're saying dairy identical, like there's tons of variation in cheese, right? Even of a certain type, even when you're meeting all the criteria to call it mozzarella, there's all different things you can do with it. All our New Culture is doing, I think, is creating the whey protein, or no, the casein they're using. So they're creating that amino acid from plants and then putting it with whatever else. And I guess they're still doing all the process that goes into normal cheese making, starting with that. But dairy identical just it seems like the wrong word to me. I haven't tasted these things side by side or anything, so I don't really know. But it just doesn't seem like it's identical to any dairy cheese. It just uses one protein. So I don't know. I don't fully get it, but I'm sure this is pretty good stuff. And apparently it has a unique mouthfeel, stretchiness, and melt of traditional dairy cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, what does dairy? I mean, like, what does that even mean? I mean,
all I can figure out that it means is that some of the protein in there is exactly the same as the dairy version. And in this case, it's casein. In other cases, it's whey. So, you still got to put in all these inputs that go into the rest that goes in the milk comes with sugar and all this other stuff that goes into normal cheese. So this has to be introduced separately. And so it's dairy identical is a weird word, but not opposed to it. It's fine. If I was one of those lawmakers though, or the dairy industry, I'd be pretty upset. I'd be saying this isn't dairy identical. This is something else. We need labeling laws. We need to go to Texas and get them to pass some sort of bill in our favor, no matter where we are in the world. Okay. Good. Moving on to the next one. The last and final story of our weather report today, our weird weather report today. London Metropolitan University has voted in favor of transitioning to a plant-based campus. They had their local elections on Thursday, May 4th. I don't know how big London Metropolitan University is, but London's pretty big, so I'm guessing it's pretty big. This is from Plant-Based News, who's based over there, so they know much better than I. The university looks set to be 60% plant-based by next academic year. I believe this is talking about the food that is made and served on campus. And the Students' Union Trustee Board will then lobby for a 10% increase each year, hopes to do so until animal products are fully off the menu. Now, I hate to get math nerdy on them, but if you increase by 10% each year, it never actually goes to zero, the other amount. There's always a slice that is left, and you're just taking 10%, So, but that's a technicality.
They probably mean 50%, 60%, 70%.
Perhaps that's what they mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know what? I don't think this is going to happen. I just don't.
Oh, really?
I don't think anybody listens to what the students say. Like, they're not usually the ones who are applying. I don't know about in Europe. Maybe it's different than here. But it's their parents. And I don't think the parents really generally want this. So I could see a lot of, gruff old dads being, I'm not sending you to that, nut and fruit school or whatever. I just don't see it happening. I don't know anything about the culture of it at this place. I mean, none of this. I just think they don't care what the students vote for.
I don't know. I don't think that's true. I got a little more faith in the university to listen to the student body than that. I think it's good. I think it's great.
You think you're gonna get 100% plant-based? They're not gonna have some sort of place that has options for the meat eaters.
I mean, it's in London, right? I mean, meat eaters can get whatever they want anywhere they want.
Right. And London is the number one top vegan city in the world, according to some sort of survey from a little while earlier this year. So maybe I'm wrong.
I just Googled it. 10,000. Their 2019 to 2020 year, they had 10,390 students. So reasonable size.
Yeah.
Not a massive university, but
not massive. Kind of yeah. You're right. That's reasonable size. Well, I'll be impressed if it happens. It'll be in 2029. So asteroid probably will have arrived by then, or ChatGPT will have killed everybody. So it probably won't matter. But if we ever get to that far, we're still doing this show, we'll check in again and see how it's going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a good mood today.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
So I participated in a sit-in at my university one time.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Future politician. No wonder.
That's right. Yeah.
Moving, shaking. Okay, what was the sit-in about?
It was about food waste, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it was. It was about I think we were trying to encourage them to. I'm trying to remember what it is now. It was encourage them to connect with the food pantry, like a local food or homeless shelter, and bring the food over there or something like that, because they were dumping out a ton of food at the end of every day, like every cafeteria does. And it was around that.
Had you asked nicely first, or you just went right to the sit-in and said,
no, I think we just kind of went. I think there was a petition, and that didn't happen anywhere. And then we went to a walkout.
Okay.
So everybody walked out of class and went to the chancellor's office and had a sit-in at the chancellor's office. I made it maybe like 2 or 3 hours, but some people,
how many people walked out of the class? Like, what percentage of the class?
I mean, there were maybe like a few hundred people total, and at a university with 15,000 people. So, but people were talking about it. It was like a big deal.
Wow.
But I think I was maybe one of two in my class that actually did it.
So to the teacher or anyone else involved could look like someone had to go to the bathroom at the same time.
Oh, totally. Else. Yeah. It wasn't like a big mass exodus of people.
All right. Never doubt the power of a small, committed group of citizens, right, Doug?
That's right. Although it didn't work. As I remember correctly, it didn't work.
Okay. All right.
I think they made some promises to do some stuff, and I don't know that anyone actually followed up. That's 18-year-olds for you, right?
It is.
Have a grand idea, make a huge deal out of it, and then never follow up and bother to see if they actually did it, if they actually did what they promised.
Well, gotta admire that youthful spirit. All right, that's the weather report for today. On to the rest of our show. I need like note cards that I throw over my shoulder at the end of the weather report.
There you go.
Yeah, I got a bookmark. Put it over. All right, so that's that. So the other thing we got today, we have two things. I think we'll probably just get to one. It's from Eat This, Not That, and it's this is an actual real topic. These sites give us a lot of silly articles all the time. This one I've been thinking about a lot recently. It's 11 inflammatory foods wreaking havoc on your body, and a good number of these are vegan, plant-based foods. So worth calling out. I figured we had the inflammation discussion a few weeks ago, saying if inflammation is natural in your body, and there are some people saying that like we shouldn't just try to combat inflammation all the time. It serves as a purpose. Our body knows often what to do. So when it gets inflamed after an injury, maybe we shouldn't be like rushing to reduce that inflammation. And I tend to think that that's probably the right line of thinking. Certainly, maybe there are some circumstances when you should. But this is about chronic inflammation. And it seems that the things in our environment, our lifestyle, whatever, is causing us to be chronically inflamed in a way that's not, our body's not meant to do. It's just sort of I don't know if short circuiting is the right word, but our body's just kind of going into this routine where it inflames itself in response to all this stuff. And it's not supposed to always be here. So what we can do with our food is stop trying to put in anything that would be causing that inflammation, and even put things in that help reduce it, especially if those are fairly natural foods. So here are the ones, according to Eat This, Not That, that are causing inflammation. By the way, you can get your inflammation measured. C-reactive protein will tell you.
With Complement Insight.
Do you measure inflammation? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we measure something. One of the biomarkers.
Our tier 2 offering. Okay, good.
Uh-huh.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, you can do that. I need to do that recently. I did it recently, but relative to, I think it was called highly sensitive C-reactive protein, which is like a heart area inflammation specifically. But I'd like to know about my whole body inflammation. I'd be very curious to know if the way I eat, which includes plenty of carbohydrates, and oftentimes people say that those are the inflammation causers. So anyway, I'm just curious about this. Been interested in it recently. It's really kind of been a blind spot for me. I have not thought about it in 15 years of being into health food. I just sort of always assumed that if I'm eating a plant-based diet, I probably don't need to think about inflammation much. But I don't know. I thought that about a lot of things, and I'm like, as I go and test them, for genetics or whatever other reason, or maybe even part of my diet, I don't have great numbers all the time and everything like I would hope after eating this way for so long I would. So
right.
I just have sort of an interest in getting to the bottom of these things as I read these longevity books and things. So I'm just kind of inspired. But anyway, here we go. Number 1, margarine, which I don't know if we can equate margarine with like earth balance.
I don't think so.
I don't think totally different things. Yeah, because margarine has trans fat, earth balance does not, and that's a huge problem. They don't say that trans fat is exactly the problem, but the margarine in its being an ultra processed food, that can cause inflammation in the body. So they're not listing a specific nutrient here. They're just saying ultra processed food, which means all those fake vegan meats, you've got to imagine that those are going to do the same thing. I don't know for sure. That was one of the things I wondered about testing, going on that or off that for a time and then seeing what happens to the inflammation. So anyway, that's number 1.
Hey, on the topic of margarine, I saw that Miyoko released a video of how to make your own butter, and I thought that was really interesting because of course Miyoko's butter is a big product.
That's the trade secrets that they're so upset about.
I don't, who knows if it's the same formula or if it'll taste the same, but if she's giving out how to make butter, then I think that's good.
Is she giving these recipes back to the people? Is that what this is actually all about? Is to take it away from the corporation and
give it to the people.
Good to know. I don't think I'll ever make my own butter, to be honest, but glad that
I had the same thought.
But I'm happy to keep buying Miyoko's, or if she starts a new brand, I'll buy that one. So I'm not opposed to that, and hopefully that doesn't cause inflammation. I don't think that stuff's ultra processed by any means. Okay, number 2, sugar sweetened beverages. Not really a surprise here. Sugar is going to be inflammation causing, and beverages are one way to get lots of it, including those non-alcoholic beers, Doug, that you and I are fond of. Even the ones that aren't that high in it still have 10, 13 grams of sugar. So I'm a little bit careful about having those now, just for that reason. So anyway, that's sugar. It doesn't matter whether your sugar is high fructose corn syrup or whether it's, table sugar, sucrose. I saw in that Peter Attia book, he had an interesting breakdown of how much fructose and how much glucose was in these different things. It's like a 5% difference in high fructose corn syrup compared to the others, like 65 instead of 60% fructose. So it's just not a significant difference. Sugar is sugar. Doesn't matter how they tell you it's organic or whatever. Just it's all bad. They recommend Olipop here because it has less sugar, and that I can get behind. Right, if it's actually taking sugar, less sugar, then that's probably a good thing. All right, my phone may run out of power here. This is what happens with afternoon shows. And if it does, we'll keep talking on YouTube. So if you're on Instagram, hop over there, youtube.com/nomadathlete. I pinned it to the show chat. And it's better over there anyway. So get over there. All right. Number 3, fried food. No surprise here that one of your favorite food groups is fried food. I know that.
Not listening.
Okay. Includes corn chips, tater tots, I'm sure. They're all in here. Yeah, it's just French fries have had the stronger link to negative effects than others, though. So tater tots, I guess, skirt that problem.
Man, everybody's hating on the French fries.
I know. It's like people have been following the Doug train. They're all into tater tots. If you make your own, you can cook them at a lower temperature to produce fewer acrylamides, which I guess are inflammation causers. Yeah, not too much more to say about that. Also, if you don't keep using the same oil over and over, I think you get less bad stuff. But if you get them fast food or a brewery or whatever, certainly they're not using new oil every time they make these things, or every day, even, or even every week, probably. All right, number 4. Speaking of breweries, alcohol. I don't like this one. This is my cover the ears one. Yeah, it's just. I mean, obviously, alcohol is a toxin. It's your body revolts when it gets it in there, and somehow that's how you feel good for a little while. But anyway, that's not a good thing. Red wine has some stuff that I think could help to temper that inflammation a bit, but I'm not going to pretend it's healthy because it's really not. So they say 2 drinks a day or less for men, 1 drink or less in a day for women. I wish I really could believe that advice. I'd be pretty happy and satisfied with my drinking habits then. You see it a lot, and that's the dietary guidelines for Americans. But more and more, I just don't believe that that's a good amount. I think it's not enough. All right. I mean, it's too much.
Is it? Yeah. That's definitely like a, tater tots once a day is not a big deal.
Right. Exactly. All right. Number 5, refined grains. We talked about whole grains earlier. I guess if something's a whole grain, is it not a refined grain? I don't really know if we can say that for sure. I mean, their first sentence here was refined wheat flours have been stripped of their slow digesting fiber. So in that sense, yes, a whole grain is not refined because it still has that fiber in there. But once you grind it down, and especially if you grind it down finer and finer, and it just is like like Cheerios probably, it's starting to become processed, and it's starting to be more quickly digested and probably do a lot of the same inflammation that refined grains cause. But anyway, a little bit better to get whole grains, obviously. But it's not that much better. And more I'm trying to think, I probably shouldn't eat as much wheat as I do in the form of pasta and breads and all these things, which is another just great food. Love to have it. So hate to hear this. All right, number 6. This one I'm good with. Food stored in BPA containers. So you don't want to have BPA. Obviously, we all know that. Those chemicals that are in lots of plastics.
I mean, is it though? I mean, do they still make BPA or food storage containers with BPA in it and water bottles with BPA in it? Like, everyone still advertised BPA free, but like, do they? I mean, is that even still a thing?
I mean, like the lining of cans, often a lot of them will say BPA free. Not a lot. A few of them will say BPA free, but that's a food container. Your food's stored in that for a long time. That has BPA. Okay. So that's one time to get BPA free. Spend a little more if you can. But yeah, I don't think people are often putting stuff in Tupperware. I heard Tupperware, the brand, is not doing so well these days anyway. Which people I think are probably switching to glass and metal and everything else. So yeah, that's good. Don't forget,
we still have some plastic containers, but they're definitely BPA free.
Yeah, I worry about any plastic. I mean, I just think BPA is one thing, and I'm sure it's the worst. But I think just in general, it's good to move to things that aren't plastic. But
go glass.
Is glass good, Doug, or bad? I don't know. For the environment?
Yeah, it's good.
It's fine.
Recyclable. Endlessly recyclable.
Oh, yeah? Good. Okay. All right, number 7. Processed meat. They don't mention processed plant-based meats here, but they mention regular meat. So far, we're still good when it comes to Beyond Steak Tips or whatever. let's see. They don't tell you what it is about the processed meat or the meat processing that makes it a high pro-inflammatory food. So we can't say for sure whether or not the plant-based versions have the same issue. Certainly, there's some things that are really bad about processed meat that are not bad about plant-based meats, like the link to colorectal cancer. Hopefully, likely, that's not the case with plant-based meats. But yeah, you gotta think the processing is still going to be an issue. Number 8, candy, and this probably includes all those vegan candies that sort of seem like they're a little bit healthy because they have organic sugar and whatever else colored with vegetable dyes and all that.
Beet dye.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in some way maybe you get a little bit of naturalness points there and don't use artificial colors and things. But I think the sugar is the main cause here. And like I said, it doesn't matter how organic that sugar is, it's still going to do it. They say try limiting your intake of glucose, fructose, sucrose, and high fructose corn syrup, which all get converted to the same compounds in the body during absorption. That's what I'm saying. Are there other types of sugars that they're leaving off there? Dextrose, lactose. They're not mentioned, but I have to imagine that they're also not good. Number 9, donuts. You like donuts, Doug? I'm shocked.
I made an audible reaction there.
Yeah.
But I'm not like jonesing for any donuts.
No.
It's pretty rare that I will go get donuts.
Where would you even go get donuts?
There is a vegan donuts shop in Black Mountain.
Oh, there is?
100% vegan donut shop in Black Mountain.
Is it offshoot of one of the Asheville
a quarter
ones?
mile from my house. It's the trashy vegan.
I know that food truck.
The food truck has a donut shop.
Oh, wow.
That's not a food truck.
Okay. I don't know if I knew that. That food truck has a bunch of junk food at it. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It was good.
It sure does.
It was very junky. Wow. Quarter mile from your house, huh? And you don't ever talk about it or go to it or anything. You just blocked it out.
I know. I often forget about it, but it's good. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's donuts. We've talked about this. And I don't have the sweet tooth as much as the savory tooth.
Yeah.
The salt.
Me too. All right. Good. Number 10, pasta. Another one of my favorites here. And I already mentioned that it's not a good one. They say it's a unique refined grain because it has a lower glycemic index. I don't know why that would be. But when it comes to promoting inflammation, observational data suggests that consumption of pasta is linked to higher inflammation. Although that's consumption of pasta along with other pro-inflammatory foods linked to higher inflammation. So when I put a bunch of veggies in there, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But surely lots and lots of pasta is not good. So more vegetables, the better. And number 11, I don't think Bear Grylls is in the audience, but if he is, this would be bad news for him. Organ meat. Well, they qualify first by saying organ meat, like liver, is packed with nutrients. But this food also has pro-inflammatory potential. It's packed with nutrients, but it's also packed with like a bunch of stuff that your liver, I think, filters out. You don't want to be eating, like, I don't know, cadmium or something I read today. So,
I mean, your liver's not like trying to eat itself, right?
No, right. That's why you don't want to go eat someone else's or some creature else's.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm not doubting that part of our history is eating small amounts of organ meats because there's only a few per animal. So it's not like you chow down on these things if you were in a big group. But I don't know. It just seems bizarre. So anyway, that's going to cause inflammation. So watch out, Bear. Watch out. It's coming for you. The inflammation is going to get you.
Gonna get you.
Yep. He might not survive that. He might be able to survive all the other stuff. The inflammation from the organ meats. Watch out. All right. Well, this has been a weird show, Doug. I'm glad it's over. We only have 1 minute left. We're at the 45-minute mark.
It has been weird. We've been very off today, I would say.
I think the timing. I didn't have a great sleep. I'll tell you that much. But you'd think I'd be recovered by now. But no,
you're hitting that afternoon sun.
And the weird camera angle now. I don't know. It just feels a little shaky.
I can see your drums in the background. When was the last time you played those?
Yeah, not that much. I mean, the other day I got on, but I didn't do any real practice. Look.
There we go.
More. Yeah, trying to do that camera angle for the. Did I say we're cutting up the office equipment? I think I did say that.
Cutting up the office equipment?
The office equipment. The weather report. I was reading Aisha's comment. I was reading Aisha's comment at the same time. She said, Matt, you got to buy an extra charger for your office because my phone runs out of power. It's actually not the charging problem. It's that the headphones have to go into the phone. So too boring to get into that. But anyway, it's still alive. So nearly made it to the end. Yeah, just not on our best show.
Okay.
But that's right. We're gonna be cutting up the weather reports. We're gonna be naming them something different. And they show the way we're doing it. They show the whole background. So we had to make. I need a better angle for my camera. It doesn't show so much white walls. Anyway, that's that. Anything else, Doug, today before we get off?
No, let's get out of here, man.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Thanks for everybody who showed up live and stuck with us through this. And if you're still listening to the recorded version of this, then thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Really, from the bottom of my heart.
Truly,
thank you. We'll be back tomorrow with our coffee ready to go.
Yeah, pretty soon. That's like 19 hours away from now or so. We'll be back doing this again, and hopefully back to normal for Hump Day.
There you go. All right.
Goodbye, everyone.